So the first thing we have to do is we have to add our game images. So we're going to add two butterflies, and so yeah, we create the new image set. Then we set the scale to single scale, and since I'm using an SVG file, I have to first convert it to a PDF, and then I have to import that PDF file. So we're going to import the PDF file for the first butterfly. Yep. And now we're going to set the correct name for the butterfly so that we can refer to this image in our code. And then now we're going to create the second image set. This is for the butterfly that is going to chase. The first butterfly was the one that is being chased. So yeah, single scale, and then we'll import our chaser.pdf. And then same thing, we have to set the name correctly so that we can refer to it in our game code. And yeah, now we have both our butterflies available to refer to. Next thing we have to do is we have to load both the butterflies to our scene. So we're going to declare variables for them as sk sprite nodes, one for the first butterfly and then another for the chaser butterfly. Yep. And then after declaring the variables, we have to set the variables, and then we'll set it to the sk sprite node variable, and then we have to use the constructor that is image named, and then put the same name that we used when we're creating the asset. Yeah, and doing the same thing for the chaser butterfly, and we'll use image named chaser here. And then the second thing we have to do is we have to set the Z position. If we don't set the Z position, the background image will be on top of our sprite node, so we won't be able to see it. So we're going to set the Z position to 5. Then we're going to add it to the scene by doing self.addChild. Then we have to do the same thing for the chaser butterfly, and we want this Z position to be higher than our first butterfly, so we can know if we're overlapping. Yep. And then we're also going to add it to the scene by doing self.addChild. Yep. Now we have both our butterfly and the chaser butterfly added to the scene. Yay. Then we also want to add some movement to our chaser butterfly. So we're going to go to the correct method to add that movement. In the touch moved function, we're going to be setting the position of the chaser butterfly. So whenever we click on or whenever we touch a different part of our screen, when we drag from one point to another, the position of the chasing butterfly will also change. So yeah, we set the chaser position to the position that the function gives us, which is where we have dragged our touch to. So you can see the blue butterfly will move when we drag our touch, and the other butterfly is staying stationary because we have not added any movement to it yet. So the next thing that we want to add is the random movement of the butterfly that we are chasing. So the first concept that we need to use is the concept of a random number generator. So first we'll define our butterfly object, and then we'll generate a random number for the x position and the y position. So we do int.random, and then we supply a range for the random number to be in. So we're going to say the random number should be generated between negative 300 and 300. And now we're going to create one more random number, and this will be for the y position. And we're going to do the same thing. Generate the random number between negative 300 to 300. Yep. And then now we have to create the new position for the butterfly. So we're going to say the new new position, and we're going to take the random number we generated for the x position and add it to the current x value of the butterfly. And then we also have to convert the x value into an integer so that both the data types will be the same. And then another concept that we need to add here is the modulus function. We don't want the butterfly to move outside of the screen, so we have to add the limiter, this modulus function, and then we have to say that we don't want the value that we're adding to go outside of the width of the frame divided by 2, since our coordinates go from negative to positive, right? So yeah, we do that for the x position, and then we have to do the same thing for the y position. So we're adding the random y value we generated to the y position of the butterfly, and converting them both to ints. Then we're again using the modulus function to make sure our butterfly does not go outside of the height of our frame. And then yeah, we're doing height divided by 2. And then now we have to set the butterfly to this new random position that we have generating using the random values and our modulus function. And then we also have to convert the values we generated to CG float, because that is what the CG point function is expecting. So we supply the x value and we supply the y value. And then yeah, now our butterfly has a random movement, and we can see that. And then we will build and compile so that we can run this application on our phone, and then we can see the movement of the chaser butterfly and the movement of the butterfly being chased. So one will have movement that is controlled by dragging the touch, and the other one will have random movement. Yeah, so let's look at it now. So I wanted to take a couple more seconds to explain the modulo operation. So we're using that to make sure that our butterfly does not go outside of the screen. And what we're doing there is we're dividing by the width of the frame, or the height of the frame, divided by 2, and we're taking whatever remainder value is there. So that way our calculated value will never exceed the width divided by 2 or the height divided by 2, and we can stay within those boundaries. So you can see now both butterflies are moving. One is moving by us dragging our touch, and the second butterfly is moving randomly every time we move our butterfly. Thanks for watching part 2. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for part 3.